Welcome to Riga for day 2 of the Olympic qualifying tournament in Latvia. It's Montenegro and Cameroon tipping off the day's proceedings at Arena Riga. Julia Montesano and Mark Clark are joining you in commentary for the game. And Mark, we're getting our first look at Cameroon for the tournament.
Well, I'm excited because they were so good in the Olympic pre-qualifier in Nigeria last year. Really put out a great demonstration of the progress that they've made. And a lot of that's going to be down to the coach. But I'm really intrigued. If they can produce that level of performance, this could be a real back-to-the-wall moment for Montenegro. Got to win or they're going home. So it's a big, big game for Cameroon. Really could make a statement. They've got to overcome one of the real strongest countries in recent years in Europe. So it's a big clash, not just for Cameroon, but for African basketball.
Absolutely. We're now welcoming Cameroon onto the floor for the first time in this Olympic qualifying tournament. They're ranked 68th in the world at the moment, but of course have come here to play. They won both their practice games, both here in Latvia as well. So they'll really black their chances in today, you sense.
Well, I think the important thing for them is they've got so much continuity from last year's tournament. 8 players returned. You're going to get to see the starting lineup in a moment, but 4 guys who started in the final that got them to this competition will be on the floor at the start. And that's so important. With little preparation, having that continuity from tournament to tournament is a big, big deal. And they've got so much solidity in the backcourt with Jabbar Hill that this team has a way that it can build performances throughout a game. Really excited to see how they do.
Here comes Montenegro now onto the court. They started the game off brilliantly yesterday, but in the end, Brazil's experience shone through. So you're right, it is win or go home for them. Of course, this is the last of their round-robin games. The semi-finals start on Saturday, so big-time pressure coming up for them, you sense?
Well, real big pressure. And coach in the press conference after the game yesterday was really big about how well they started, how well they then resisted Brazil coming back. But in the fourth quarter, they just dried up, and defensively they really got dominated, particularly by Marcelino Huertas, who just ran the game in the fourth quarter. He needs a consistency of performance, and that will be really important against this Cameroon team. Force them to play the whole 40, force them to make good decisions.
Let's now pause to hear the national anthems of Montenegro and Cameroon.
Please raise for the national anthems of both countries. Let's start with Team Cameroon.
two teams coming together in the middle of the court to exchange gifts. Of course, a great tradition in FIBA basketball. And it's been a feature of this tournament. Will continue for the rest of the days here as well. The last bit of sportsmanship we'll see, of course, before what we sense will be a quite entertaining battle between these two teams.
Well, I think the important thing is we're going to get a quick look at the officials, the third team on the floor before we start. And
today's referees are Luis Castillo from Spain, Omar Bermudez from Mexico, and Wael Mustafa from Egypt. Of course, a big privilege for the referees as well as the players in this tournament, Mark. But as I mentioned, it's about the players on the floor.
Absolutely.
A great battle between these two teams. We're expecting, you know, I know there's a big discrepancy in the world rankings, but it's going to be a close contest.
Well, I think the discrepancy in the world rankings, as important as they are, is less of an issue here because Cameroon are on a rise. They really did put in a performance that, I would say, surprised people in the way that they, to an extent, dominated that pre-qualifier. Their numbers were just incredibly impressive. The job that Coach Aboya has done, it's building on all the quality they have, but they take really good care of the basketball. They share the ball really well. 21 assists per game in that qualifying tournament last year in Nigeria. And they shoot the ball really well. Now, it's a little bit typecast and cliche to say that often they make too many mistakes, often it's not, but it's a very technical performance they put on the floor as we have a look at the starting lineup. You know, built around the veteran leadership of Atiba, but Jariah Hill is the man. But the great thing about this lineup is Hill struggled in the final last year, went 3 for 10 from the floor, but dished out 14 assists and went 9 for 10 from the free throw line. He finds a way to make his team function. He's one of their key players for today's game. And you look at those numbers, 18 and 9 in a qualifying tournament under all the pressure. If he can function today, and it's going to be important to see how Montenegro deal with him, then his team will function. So I'm excited to see how Cameroon, if they can make that step up, this is an exciting prospect for Cameroon basketball.
And there's Coach Alfred Aboya on the screen, who of course guided his team to that great run at the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament in Nigeria. He's, you know, a real legend of this Cameroon state. He's spent many years playing, and now he's got the role of the head coach of the team, and hopefully he's going to take them to great heights.
Oh, he's definitely leading this team in a great way. We're going to get a look at this Montenegrin starting lineup, and it's going to be the same lineup that started yesterday. Kendrick Perry is so important, but shot the ball poorly yesterday by his own standards. That was largely down to the way Brazil played defense. Pedar Popovic, exceptionally good, but they live and die by Vucevic on the inside. If he is solid for 4 quarters, I think they win. But he had 2 quarters off, went scoreless for the middle part of the game. Again, possibly down to the Brazilian defense, but they found a way to take him out of his rhythm. He's got to stay in that. His numbers in the NBA, so impressive, but also his performance yesterday. Double-double in a big game, just wasn't quite enough to get his team over the line.
And we mentioned how much he loves playing for his country. You know, sometimes NBA players might not be able to play for their countries, but he's always making sure he's available and he's ready to go. And that's why Coach Bosko Radovic loves having him in the team. And obviously Coach Radovic, a very successful coach in his own. He's led the side since 2019. He's been an assistant since 2015. So he's been there for the long run. And like Coach Aboya, he's hoping to take the team to success.
Well, I think that's really important, that the leadership, forget the coaching and the technical side of it, the leadership that the coaches put into the program, the culture they create. We've seen it across lots of sports across this whole summer. Teams really do reflect their leaders, and we've got 2 great examples of coaches here who lead their programs as well as coach their programs. This is intriguing. It's at some point, one of the teams from Africa is going to make a big statement on the international stage. South Sudan really made a statement in making the Olympic Games. How good would it be for African basket to have another team in that competition in Paris?
It would be absolutely amazing. Well, we're nearly ready to go here in Riga. It's the 17th ranked Montenegro coming up against the 68th ranked Cameroon. This is day 2 of the pool games in Riga before semi-finals, and then of course the grand final to determine who books their ticket to the Paris Olympics beginning on July 26th. So Cameroon and Montenegro nearly ready to go. It's win or go home for Montenegro. They lost against Brazil yesterday. Cameroon, we're getting their first look at them this tournament. Welcome to Arena Riga in Latvia. It is Montenegro battling it out with Cameroon in the Latvian capital as day 2 of the Olympic tournament tips off. And it's going to be Montenegro with first possession. And Popovic, he had a really good start to yesterday's game. We'll be looking to set the tempo here today. And speaking of tempo, Vucevic kicks it out to Radoncic. And he rattles in the first basket of the game.
That's an interesting start from Montenegro, bringing Vucevic outside, trying to create space on the inside, and ultimately the penetration was generated by his pass. So trying to leave that middle open, take away some of that ring protection.
Now it's time for Cameroon to attack, and Bayehe is going to pull up for a triple. Show with a nice rebound, and banks it in.
Wow, great work on the glass. A little bit static for Cameroon, but the effort on the rebounding, tremendous by Choi. Really went after it.
And that's going to be the key for them, isn't it? Just those defensive stops, those second efforts. You know, Montenegro are a taller team, and Vucevic gets heaps of rebounds, but this sort of effort is what they're going to love to see.
They've got to use their mobility. They are the more mobile team, and it's good to see him getting after Perry in the half court, trying to make him earn whatever he gets and not being passive.
22% field goal percentage for Kendrick Perry. Very uncharacteristic against Brazil. A very nice dime, but Hadžibeković couldn't quite finish it off, and it's good D there from Cameroon right under the rim.
We talked about Hadžibeković yesterday. Really did have played minutes, but really didn't produce, didn't come up with contribution. Got to make that play. Nice cut, should have finished it.
Show, can he get back-to-back buckets? Confronted, so kicks it out to Bayehe.
Smart, great decision, good spacing, knocked down the 3. It's at this end, they've really got to make Montenegro work for everything they get.
Hadžibeković, Radoncic wants it, and he gets it. Popovic now. Pulls up. And a really athletic rebound there from Abua.
Oh, that made a drop. That just took it right off the ring.
Bayehe pulls up again. Can't go back to back, but you sense that's his third 3 that he's attempted already. You sense he's going to like himself from that range.
Just to say he's got a green light, it appears from him.
I don't mind it.
No.
Bit of a license to shoot. Popovic. Radoncic. Driving baseline, reversing it in. Nice work. He was so pivotal for him yesterday, and he's already got the first 2 baskets today.
Yeah, if there was a criticism of yesterday, he should have got the ball more. Hill hadn't touched the ball. It looked like he just said, hey, I've not had it, I'm going to shoot it regardless.
Perry feels the same. He pulls up. And Montenegro get another chance through Vucevic. The double-double machine, the NBA veteran. And Perry, oh, it's disappointing that he couldn't complete that. It was a nice look from Vuce.
Well, that's worrying breakdowns, though, for the Cameroon, given literally wide open looks. I mean, Montenegro have had a good look at the hoop on every single possession.
Bayehe again. 1 from 4 from long range. Perry doesn't want to go too quickly. Found Popovic in the corner. Can't nail it, and Abua again.
Well, let's just use the phrase. They've dodged the bullet literally every possession. They've given wide open looks, often at the ring, and Montenegro just can't finish plays. You just don't want that to come back to haunt them as the game goes on, but this is the 1-3 that has been made of the 4 that have been attempted.
Here he is again, Bayehe. This time gives it to the trusty hands of Jeremiah Hill. Bayehe finds himself under the rim this time. Nice finish.
And I'd like to see Hill do so much more of that. Break the defense down and then make an easy decision for his teammate.
Popovic gets fouled on the approach. It's been an interesting start for both teams. We've seen the Bayehe license to shoot on one end, and then we've seen Vucevic a bit higher up at the other end. So Just trying some new things, Montenegro?
Yeah, maybe, but it's Vucevic just getting the ball in the low block was such an effective option for him earlier against Brazil that I'm surprised they haven't at least gone to him once or twice in that area. So to see if he can just dominate as he is now.
They kick it around to Popovic, and there is Vucevic.
Yeah, the rotation and the scramble and the help for the Cameroon is a little bit static. The first player helps, no one else moves, or not fast enough anyway. Great cut, easy too.
We'll see Atiba, the captain for Cameroon, come on as well as Bayehe will head to the stripe for 2 shots.
Someone in that locker room, Bayer must have been licking his lips in this game. It's almost like coach has said, hey, down the floor, we're going to give you touches every time. We want you to look to score, because he really is going to work. You know, he's with Trento in Italy. He's played in Italy for a lot of his career, was at Brindisi, so it's not as if he's not used to playing at the highest level club-wise, but he really looks like he's got what every player wants, a green light at the moment. And he's not backing down from taking the responsibility.
5 points of Cameroon, 7 for the game so far have come from this man on screen. But he misses both free throws.
He's a 70% free throw shooter across his career, so a little disappointing for him.
Perry now puts some pace on it. They'll have another go. And we're going to have another sub for Cameroon here. Samir Bekom gets his first minutes of the game. Playing in France at the moment with Antibes, and Bayer, the main man, gets subbed off. 5 points, 2 from 5 from the field. Sorry, Mark.
No, say, coach has got options points-wise, because Bekom had 14, I think, 19, in fact, in the pre-qualifier final.
Hadzibegovic. Vucevic, good offensive rebound. And they'll start again through Perry. Can't knock it down.
Vucevic's got to go back up. Surely he's got to finish that.
Jeremiah Hill. Want to see a bit more of him. It's a good dime to Abua, but Vucevic was right there with him.
Well, Hadzibegovic got a piece of it in the rotation, which has been poor by Cameroon. Very good for Montenegro.
A bit of an errant pass, but Radonjic is able to clean it up. A little spot there by Hadzibegovic. A little volleyball sort of action. Turns around. He can't complete the bucket. Vucevic fouled. He's got players literally hanging off him at the moment.
Well, we talked about the issue that they would have Cameroon in guarding him, because one-on-one, I don't think they've got the athleticism, yes, but the physicality in terms of his strength is going to be an issue. But they've got to put the body on first and box out and then get after the rebound, because then they're in a lot of bad shape. If they're just trying to compete with him, he just holds his space so well.
Good sub coming in for Montenegro, Simonovic. He had a really fantastic game yesterday. 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists against Brazil. Good catch there by Vucevic. Can't complete his own work.
Simonovic, you said it, almost got Montenegro over the line. His performance in the fourth quarter, the only thing that kept him going.
Real impact off the bench. Narase gets his first touch for Cameroon to Bekom. Back to Narase at the top. And a good little tap in there from Beckham.
Oh, these guys going to the glass hard from the guard spot. Really, the perimeter guys crashing the glass. Montenegro have to, again, put their body and box out.
Popovic now. Simonovic had the hot hand yesterday and has it again today by the looks.
Genuine European-style stretch for really does have a great stroke from the three-point line and didn't have a lot of time to get rid of it that time. Picking up where he left off yesterday.
It's Montenegro's first triple of the game. Scores level, 9 points apiece. 3.5 minutes left in this first period. Coach Aboya doing a good job with this team and giving some instructions there on the sideline.
I'll be interested when, because Vucevic gets a rotation. You know, towards the end of the first quarter, they took him out yesterday, didn't bring him back until midway through the second. It'll be interesting to see if Cameroon can use the advantage that will give them, because it's just his sheer physical presence just is a real issue for them at the moment.
Yargabidius to Hill. Thinks about it. Can't drain it.
Again, it's that perimeter. They're going to call a foul on Cameroon, but the work they do from the perimeter going to the offensive glass is good to see. That time there was still a little bit too much of pushing to get space because he was boxed out first, and that's the key.
Simonovic looking desperately for Perry there.
Maya Hill's having a quiet first quarter, isn't he? I was expecting, as he was in the pre-qualifier, to see a lot of the basketball.
None from 2 from the field for Jeremiah Hill so far. Of course, playing locally with Russia at the moment. He's played all around the world. Very experienced, just can't quite get the start that he was after today.
He really has been all over the place, hasn't he, in terms of his playing career. His passport has many stamps.
Simonovic. Good body work there. Used the mismatch well. He's obviously a much taller player out there than some of the Cameroon guys. But he still has to do the work, you know. He's not just going to be able to pop up the basket and expect it to go in. Because Cameroon, as we've seen so far, are hustling really hard. They're, like we said, they're the more mobile team, but they are a bit smaller in height. They're going after everything at least.
Well, it's not, also, he won't be used to that little people being underneath his arms, etc. So he's got to, as he did then, just finish the play, thousands and thousands and thousands of reps in terms of that post-up. But as you've said, and we've both been really impressed with him yesterday. He's come to play in this in game day 2, and at the moment you'd probably say he's becoming the difference maker on the floor.
Samir Beckham. Niyama on for some minutes. Narase. That one just falls short, and they're off and running. Popovic has Simonovic up ahead, but he ran into Radoncic instead. Vucevic. Radoncic sets his feet. And Beckham collides quite heavily there with Radoncic. It's getting quite physical out there. Quite a heavy hit, as you can see on the screen.
That's one of those... Radoncic had to do what he did, and by the time he actually made the contact, he was still, but there was no space. It's one of those ones that has to be called the way it was. Stop the break, though.
Not happy about it. His second foul for the game, which means he's going to take a seat, which could be crucial for Montenegro. Like Simonovic, he was a really good player off the bench yesterday. 6 points and 4 rebounds. Niyama. Yargabidius banks it in.
Nice move. Nice job with the pass. Use the quickness to create the angle.
Perry now. Uses his lightning speed. Just a bit, not enough, I should say, on the shot. Yargabidius for back-to-back baskets. He's feeling it.
Well, there's Perry's issue from yesterday. Brazil did the same thing, made him put it on the floor, make him make a tougher shot. Couldn't finish the play.
Popovic's shot fell short, and a chance for Cameroon to increase their lead. Perry goes flying, but it doesn't matter. Leaves Beckham open. And Simonovic with the strong hands. Popovic might elect to slow things down with 2 Cameroon defenders in front of him. And they'll start things again. Vucevic. 2 points for him so far. And they just keep fouling Simonovic.
And that's how they've been successful in this first period. Going inside, or at least exploiting a mismatch on the inside, they draw the help and then they find the open guy. Simonovic in the first instance took the standstill 3. That's time he wanted to put it on the floor, but when they make those types of actions, they're getting very good looks. That, as we've said earlier on, they should have made 3 or 4 more relatively straightforward shots, but when they try and just push it and put it on the floor, they haven't got the advantage, and every shot is challenged around the ring. So if they have to win this by slowing it down, by looking to go inside, by moving off the inside pass, then that's what they have to do, because if they don't, they're going home. And Cameroon have got a foothold in the game now. And that's the most important thing I was worried about. They really came in a little cold and tentative. They haven't. You know, they're tied at 13 apiece after 9 minutes of the game. They believe they're in a game right now.
Absolutely. Except that fumble won't help from Atiba. Luckily, Narase was there to help. Niama now. Slavkovic on the floor for Montenegro, as you can see. And Bogovic. Niama. That shot falls short. Vucevic to Bogovic and Perry. Cameroon playing pretty high up the floor, not giving Perry much space. Vucevic, Bogovic. It's going through heaps of sets of hands here for Montenegro. Simonovic a bit hesitant on the cut. Perry deep triple, nails it!
Great shot by Perry, obviously, but good series defensively by Cameroon. Took away penetration, forced them to go outside. Perry had to make a shot 2 steps outside the three-point line. He's good enough to make it, but not that often.
Beckham couldn't beat the buzzer with that shot. But a good start from both these teams. They both had their moments in this first period. It's been a close contested battle, as we'd hoped for so far. And at the end of the first quarter, it is Montenegro 16, leading Cameroon 13.
Well, these stats are not going to be things you want to write home about, I don't think, percentage-wise, but what it's given us, statistically, what it tells us is that Cameroon don't want to shoot the three. It's get it to the ring like they've been doing particularly well. Montenegro just haven't finished plays. We're going to have a look at the best plays of the first quarter, and well, the story at the start was this guy. He had a green light from coach. He made 1 of 4, but I think in some ways the fact that he was confident and took those options set the tone for the rest of the team. And they've done a really good job in many ways defensively at taking Montenegro out of what they want to run. But the worry is they've given too many open looks to Montenegro, and sooner or later Montenegro are going to make those. But as I said during their first quarter, they've now got a foothold in the game. They know that if they doubt themselves, that's gone now. They're ready, they're right in it. I just think they need to move the ball a little quicker and create more advantage and penetration options. For Montenegro, straightforward. Just play the game and make it technical and give the ball inside whenever possible and play at your pace, and you'll get good options. So it's what we wanted was an intriguing one. We've got one. So if Cameroon can hang in here for the first half, then what Montenegro are worried about is winning, not just thinking how. And also, sometimes the officials need to see it's that type of game, and they're going to referee it in a different way because it's a close game. And they might not that they're going to go into the game with any preconceived ideas, but Montenegro is supposed to beat Cameroon. The 68th team is supposed to lose. If it's a tight game, all of a sudden referees at this level forget that stuff and they just referee the game as it is. That's going to be good for Cameroon if they can get to that point. The last thing, I think, without Vucevic in the game, it'll be interesting to see if Cameroon can take advantage of not having his physical presence. So I think it's an important start here to see if they can establish some sort of momentum without him in the game.
Second period is tipped off here in Riga. Montenegro leading by 3. No Vucevic on the floor at the moment. He played the whole first period. Beckham out there for Cameroon looking to get things going. Narase. And it pops itself in somehow. And the boy just asked for some energy from his bench.
Yep. Well, Narase's got to just shoot that. A little hesitation, wide open off the down screen. Should just knock it down. Made it in the end, so nice first possession.
Let's see how Montenegro respond now. Simonovic, their leading scorer again. Gets contact going to the rim, and Bayahe can't believe it. And Simonovic is proving troublesome for them.
The contact was before the shot. They called the contact on the penetration because everything after that was clean. But again, the referee, I think rightly, Simonovic got half a step, got bumped. And he is, like yesterday, he was their guy as the game went on. Him and Vasevic were the two guys that almost got them over the line. He's, at the end of the day, his profile tells you he's a good player. You know, he's playing in the Turkish top league for Shera next year. And he's just a really very good player. Besiktas in the last season. Has a great profile.
The leading scorer last night and leading the way so far again today with the 9 points. Hasn't missed from the field tonight yet.
They've fouled him as well, and that's, you know, sometimes he is accused of just being that spot-up shooting guy, but he's put the ball on the floor against long closeouts really well.
Ilic comes up with it. Drobniak now gets some heavy contact, but it was an offensive foul. Great defense there from Cameroon. They've continued that trend so far of that really good hustle-style defense. And that sometimes the fouls aren't going to come off. They were in the bonus in the first period. They've sent Simonovic to the line a couple of times, but this sort of stuff's okay.
You know, you can't extend the arm,
yeah.
So you know, it's whatever they thought was contact before that.
Beckham nearly sends Drobniak flying. Butebirias. Narase. No shot clock awareness there.
Fouls in the backcourt.
Foul, there you go, yeah.
So no, but the foul was in the backcourt, so they only had 14 seconds. Yeah, in the front court, so they only had a 14-second reset. No awareness, as you say. Actually, to be fair to him, excellent pass, and they really got the ball into a rip, but no awareness of the shot clock.
Yep. So Narase takes a seat after that. Got it in a good spot. And Drobniak has another chance now to go up the floor.
Love the pressure on the pass. Love the fact that this team is picking it up in terms of the momentum they've created in the first quarter. Tremendous work to get into the passing lane by BDS.
Slavkovic from the sideline. Trying to attack and get to the rim without Vucevic at the moment, just on the bench. His rotation. Bulgaric, one of the young guards of the team. Shot fell a bit short. Beckham has Bayahe ahead. Iaga Bidias, it's a nice pass, just couldn't quite finish off the shot.
With this lineup, both ways, with the lineups on the floor, as Cameroon, they can switch everything, which is what they've really given Montenegro a hard time in the last, few possessions early in this second quarter. Because they lose without Vucevic, they really lose nothing on terms of switches.
Two guards working together. Bulgaric just loses out, and Cameroon can get off and going.
Oh, I picked the wrong pass.
Yeah. Butebirias. Oh, eventually found the right guy. Bayahe just couldn't quite finish it off. And again, they get it back, Cameroon. It's hectic at the moment.
Missing opportunity at the moment. That's two opportunities in transition they could have and should have taken. Without Vucevic, this is the sort of thing I was thinking could happen for them. They really can switch. And now they just got to complete and get that scoreboard ticking over.
Slavkovic put the body on Iaga Bidias. Very hard to contend with when he's in motion, Slavkovic. Really strong, tough body.
And he was good yesterday as he came in that first half, knocked down open shots. And if you can be critical of rotations, it could have been an option to bring Hill straight in when Vucevic wasn't there, because he will finish the play. So got to maximize these types of opportunities to try and build some advantage in the game.
Iaga Bidias confirmation, 2 fouls for him. Cameroon ball.
There's been no post-up option, no screen, roll, seal for Montenegro in his first 3 minutes. It doesn't matter that Vucevic is not in the game, and Simonovic hasn't touched it apart from the time he was fouled. They're trying to put the ball on the floor and play almost the same way as Cameroon, and Cameroon are just better at them, better at that style of game than Montenegro are.
Here's Show. Looking for Hill. Ilic right with him. A good pass to Iagabidis.
A super pass.
Really good vision there by Jeremiah Hill. That's the sort of stuff he provides.
Absolutely. He's a great story, Jeremiah Hill, because lots of people talk about going to big-time NCAA schools and Division I. Had a Division II career. And then through real hard work and working his way through various leagues, has really developed a really successful professional career. And now you've got him playing in a Cameroon team that believes it belongs a much higher ranking than 68. And that's clear from the way they've started this game. They're just going to work their way through the rankings. And the only way to do that is be at these tournaments.
Brice Iagabidis at the line at the moment. Plays for Pondouchetti in France. And knocks down both free throws there.
Well, for those neutrals watching this game, this is the type of game they wanted to see. Both teams going at it, close game, pressure in the game.
Simonovic now gets a touch, but not the basket to go with it.
Same thing, I just don't think that's Simonovic's game.
Get another good pass from Hill. Atiba from the corner. Now Simonovic shares it with Perry. Slavkovic. Simonovic thought about the open look, then drove. Rose above the defense. They couldn't complete it on the offensive rebound. Now Hill with some speed. Wants to slice the defense instead. Finds Atiba again, and this time he drains it. Heaps of energy from the bench. After that Atiba triple, Montenegro call a timeout.
Hey, you know, this three underlines something. If they'd have made more of these open looks in transition, we wouldn't be looking at a three-point lead now. I mean, Montenegro desperately need the timeout at both ends of the floor. That's a great phase for Cameroon. It's going to be an interesting timeout.
Ne možemo, nema, skupljaju. Ako krene se ustavi, pa izlači loptu. Znači, svi su igrači ovdje, nema gdje. Momci, ovo ne liči na ništa. Ovo liči na stranje neki. Ovo nije što liči. Opet, nešto Bogija, ajmo. Ovo nije liči ništa. Bez ideje, bez ičega. Si smiješno. Ubacimo loptu dolje. Svi stojimo na perimetru. Niko da katuje, niko ništa. Ajde, smo da reagujemo, ajde bre, alo. Ajde, ajde se probudimo malo. Do kraja. Meni fali malo taj, fali.
So you see Cameroon getting into a bit of rhythm. They've outscored Montenegro 8 points to 2 in this second period. And without Vucevic on the floor, they struggled. He's coming back on now. So this is where it gets interesting. Can they keep up the pace, or do they get confronted by the status that is Nikola Vucevic?
Well, and the issue they've got is that they've been very successful, as we see Coach Petrovic. You can watch it on the game. You can watch it on courtside. He's probably got his subscription. But it's nothing like being there to really feel the game when you're at a tournament. And he's taking nothing for granted out of playing Cameroon tomorrow afternoon here in Riga. But Montenegro, they were getting advantage with Cameroon when Vucic was in the game. And Cameroon weren't switching. They were worried about Vucic. Well, there is a line to say here. You don't lose anything because whoever switches on is going to have a mismatch. So, but your switching defense really gave you some advantages, so why not keep the tempo high and go after it? The downside for him is they should have built a bigger buffer than the 3 points with the opportunities they had at the first part of the second quarter.
Popovic and Perry. Perry pulls up. That one rims out.
I'm sorry, he's a great basketball player, Perry, but Vucevic comes in the game, surely he has to get a touch. Surely his first possession down. Remind Cameroon he's in the game. Give him a touch and trust him to make a good decision. He's Nikola Vucevic. You can trust him.
Double-double last game, just the 2 points tonight. Here is Perry again. He gets his opportunity. Just can't complete it. He's not having a good shooting tournament so far, Kendrick Perry. 1 from 6 from the field at the moment. 1 from 7 now, actually. It's been updated. So it's looking like another rough night if he doesn't get his act together quickly.
And we often talk about players being in rhythm, and one of the things he's not at the moment is in rhythm. You know, he hasn't come off a screen good time to get his feet set. He's done everything off the dribble, and it's not working for him at the moment. He's too good a player to have to carry on like this. He's going to make shots.
Vucevic finds himself high. Popovic, not quite. What can Cameroon do to extend their lead? It's in the right hands of Jeremiah Hill. Goes himself. Can't knock it down.
You know, when people switch the way that Cameroon are, it just does take you out of rhythm. You end up with open shots, but not necessarily the shots you're used to taking or want to take.
Perry sort of scoops it in, but it works. It's a foul. He's going to go to the line.
You know, if it's not working from the perimeter, if you're struggling, put it on the floor, draw the contact as he just did, but still ended up with a tough one.
That's Bayehe's second foul. There's going to be a sub on the floor. Paul Ebua coming back on for Cameroon. They want to keep Bayehe out there. They want to keep him out of foul trouble because he started the game like a house on fire. Had that license to shoot.
See, and if you look at his numbers across the season and stuff, he's shooting under 25% from the 3. It's not one of those things that jumps out of the scout or the stat and says this guy's going to shoot the 3. He's really got to you've got to be aware of where he is. And what is he, 1 for 4 at the moment? So maybe the 25% is the accurate number.
So a timeout called on the floor. Cameroon's lead cut to 1 after those Perry free throws. Cameroon will take a timeout. 4.5 minutes left in the second period. Let's take a listen to Alfred Aboya's timeout.
So you have the ball, right? So you're here. So the top block, Fabien. They don't want you to get a shot. You don't do this. Huh? Okay, so listen. Pass to him. Pass, that's ball. Pass to Brice. Do the same thing. Reverses, set the pick goals. When you go to, no, the ball is here right now.
I got period on
Hey,
me.
you, because you stop blocking. Go set that pick and you go the opposite way. Hey, yeah. That's fine. It's DHO. It's DHO. Listen, hey, it's DHO right now. It's a shot or it's a DHO for a shot. Yeah,
I'm free to base. 1, 2, 3.
I'm plus. Exactly.
I think we can, when we get to see the numbers and look at the stats of this, both teams have had opportunities to score at a far greater rate than they've scored currently in the game. 21-20, and with still only 4 minutes to go in the half. It's just a fascinating game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, then why did they miss those shots? Well, I think Cameroon just made bad decisions in transition largely. But Montenegro are taking shots that I didn't see them taking the whole of yesterday's game. And that's because of the way Cameroon have decided to play their defense. So, man, this is an intriguing one.
Very fascinating tactical battle. We've had to listen to both paddles now. We've seen what both coaches are thinking so far. Iago Bidias couldn't quite get the start they wanted out of that huddle. We see Radonjic back on the floor. He's got the 2 fouls to his name. Kendrick Perry. 1 from 7 from the field for him. Good D again. Just those active hands have been really helpful for Cameroon so far.
And he did a great job never letting Vucevic get contact how he wanted it. He waltzed over the top and made sure he had something, a hand or his body in the pass lane. He's not going to compete with him physically. His quickness was his big thing there.
Speaking of quickness, Popovic and Simonovic slams it.
Well,
Very good slam there by Marko Simonovic. Look at the height he gets on that.
I think like a high percentage option.
Yeah. Amanang show now. Good roll and a good dish. And Iago Bidias gets a piece of the dunk on his own.
Well, Montenegro just stood. No one helped the helper. Great finish, great decision. I think we have a ball game right now.
And just like that, Iago Bidias has rocketed up to 8 points and 4 rebounds. Cameroon get another opportunity here. 1 point in front at the moment. Let's take a look at this. So show. A nice dish, and Iago Bidias is happy to finish that off. The one-handed slam. Thank you very much. One dunk at one end, one dunk at the other end. So now we're seeing the fun stuff, the athleticism. 3 minutes left, and it's anyone's game in this first half.
Well, the most telling number for me right now is that Nikola Vucevic has 2 field goal attempts. And I just can't see how they can't get him more than 2 field goal attempts. It's the most dominant player on the floor that has really caused Cameroon to structure their defense in a particular way. It's just not getting touches.
Here he is now. And they just have to foul him.
Yeah. If he gets it that deep, make him pass it out if you can. But he just hasn't had enough touches. He hasn't seen the ball enough. It's almost as though everyone in a white uniform believes they can score because they've got an option. Well, win the game, and the way to win the game is because Vucevic touches. Perry's just got to be a bit more patient and get shots that he wants in rhythm and not try and go looking for them. But this guy on the free throw line needs the basketball.
Iago Bidias for Cameroon, he's got the 3 fouls, so he's taken a seat. And Tet Chuang has come on for his first minute. So Iago Bidias has had a nice little patch of points. Need him to stay out there for as long as he can. There's a few now in foul trouble for Cameroon. We know Simonovic has gone to the line multiple times. Vucevic has gone up there as well. They'll have to watch it as the game goes on. Tet Chuang for his first involvement, and it's a good one.
Well, it's middle of the afternoon, so the bank is open to cliche it. But again, that little bounce pass on the roll, they've got a lot of joy and a lot of advantage out of those actions.
Radoncic. Nice drive and finish from him.
So much better because Vucevic is in the game, the help had to come and sag right off Radoncic. And then he made a great decision against the long closeout. That's all they have to do, Montenegro. Read what's on the floor and just make solid decisions, and they'll get high percentage shots.
Beckham finds Tet Chuang, and he's made an instant impact in this game.
Great decisions, both teams. Seeing what they have and making great decisions.
Now we see the shots starting to fall. I'm probably going to jinx it, but we're starting to see the shots falling. Simonovic double teams. Perry, Radoncic, Vucevic wide open. Great rebound and put back by Marko Simonovic. He's unstoppable at the moment.
Well, he is the guy. He is the guy that leads the scorers. Yesterday we talked about how good he was from the perimeter, but now he's getting it done around the ring. He has a size advantage. We talked about that. But as he was yesterday, the most consistent performer on the floor for Montenegro is Marko Simonovic.
Only 24 years old. He really is the future of this team, and will have a really big impact as his career goes on. We know what sort of stats he put up yesterday. Mentioned he plays locally in Turkey as well and doing some great stuff over there. And he's 6 from 6 from the line at the moment, 13 points. Having a massive impact.
And he's on the radar when it comes to like NBA type scenarios because he played in the G League, and there's nothing but good things that lay ahead for him. He's going to have he's having a great career. He's in the middle of a great career. And at the moment, this Montenegrin team doesn't function very well without him.
So he's headed onto the bench now. A minute 30, perhaps for Cameroon to strike. Down by 2 at the moment. Atiba. Tet Chuang, can he go for 3 in a row? Foul called in the midst of it all.
Again, great rebounding from the perimeter, great activity from the perimeter, and every time you make that lapse and don't box out, there's a green shirt going to the offensive boards hard. Both teams in the penalty now.
Atiba finds some space, and the bucket to go with it. That is tough.
In rhythm. Super execution out of bounds. Great screen, gets his feet set, knocks it down. Love the way this game is developing.
Atiba went 7 from 10 in one of the practice games against Egypt from 3-point range. So he's hit his second triple of the night. He's gonna start to feel it. Popovic. Radoncic, good offensive rebound. Hadzibegovic. Oh, and caught in 2 minds. Good pressure there from Cameroon. Any momentum they can get heading into halftime.
Oh, and Emir Hadzibegovic has had, it's his second game like that. He's a really good basketball player, full stop. And he just, on that one, summed him up. Second guessed what he had. He just move it on if you're not sure.
Samir Beckham. Just over 30 seconds left in this game, in this first half, I should say. And they don't capitalize on that opportunity there.
Vukovic did a great job at just being Vukovic. Just big, long, strong, took away all the passing lanes.
And now Montenegro can utilize the single digits left on the shot clock here. Popovic. Crucial call coming, it's a Cameroon ball. So a timeout for Team Cameroon. One last play to set themselves up perfectly for halftime. They're leading it by a point at the moment, 30 points to 29. Both teams have struggled a bit from the field. Shots have been starting to hit, and we'll see what Coach Aboya has to say about it all.
And listen, one play, we're going to our play right now with you two right there. So you're the first big. You're here. Go set a pick for him. Fabian, we're gonna put you right here on the corner. All right? Set a pick for him. You here with the ball. Sami is the opposite here. Screen, go, slip, go screen. After the screen, follow for this screen right here. And the last minute, switch the angle so we can attack this way. Whatever possibility will be open, you attack this one will be open. We look for shooters first.
You see a bit of momentum here from Cameroon. It was Techuang who had some instant impact off the bench. 2 baskets in a row, and then Fabian Atiba from the corner. Loves the look of that. They're feeling it, Cameroon.
I don't think you're gonna run it, but I would run something here on something like a down screen to pin down to get Atiba the ball back, because he's definitely in a bit of rhythm after the last play, but we'll be surprised if it opens out for Hill to attack now off some ghost screen action. That's the type of play that Coach talks about.
Hill using his pace, spinning, can't score.
Great call by the coach. Great call by Coach Aboya. It was all the stuff on the weak side to the floor was all just to distract. Hill is quick enough, get to the ring, he was strong enough. Montenegro defended all the actions, and all Hill was ever going to do was attack the ring. Got to make the free throws, get into the halftime with all the momentum, and Cameroon are in a great spot.
Interestingly, it's Jeremiah Hill's first point of the game.
Huge.
So it's taken him quite long to get involved, but it feels like he's had more impact than the stat sheet, I should say, suggests. Popovic with the long prayer. Hits the backboard. But it's Cameroon with a halftime lead here in Riga, the capital city of Latvia. You can see on the confirmation there, Cameroon 32, leading Montenegro 29 at the half. We're going to see the game stats coming up on your screen shortly, and tells a picture that Cameroon are starting to feel it. You can see their 2-point percentage is rocking it up. Still not too bad, still not doing too well from 3-point range, I should say, but the stats are pretty even here, Mark.
Well, 10 assists tells you they have shot so well from the inside. They really have penetrated and got people cutting to the hoop. You know, points-wise, we talked about Simonovic throughout that first half. He's been effective, but Vucevic is missing from that, and they will double him. Yeah, I get that, but he's got to get more touches of the basketball, and that just creates advantage for his teammates. But you can't say enough good things as this, the camera follows his Cameroon team to the locker room. Aiega had that guy that had the green light at the start, ends up with 8 points, and Simonovic, as we said, with the full team. But I gotta love the way that Cameroon stayed with the game, and then made the game a little bit messy with the way they switched their defense, the way they double-teamed Vucevic on the inside. But now, as we said throughout the first half, they're in a game. Montenegro know it's a game, and the game is going to go that way now. If they play tough in the third quarter, this is going all the way. When they get going in transition, they're dangerous. And the fact that Hill has only just scored his first 2 points is a great thing, because he is going to have a bigger game than that. He also only has 3 assists. He has normally had the ball in his hand a lot. I think he's going to have the ball in his hand a lot in the second half. For Montenegro, it's got to be make a decision, because that's just penetrate, pass, get an easy 2. It's when Perry or Simonovic has tried to make the tough move off the dribble that they have struggled, and their field goal percentages reflect that.
We mentioned the lack of touches with Vucevic, a bit of an interesting strategy for him going into this game. What was it going to be, He had a double-double last night, but we've seen him get a bit higher up the floor and try to pass it out when he's in good spots. You just want him to go up to the rim.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 3 field goal attempts. And we talked earlier on about they've not given him the ball in the low block. He's ended up taking a 3. Why? I have no idea that he wants to. Why he should even be looking for that option. So I just think they've got to do either get him a little earlier so the defense isn't set, or just let him play. And if he gets double teamed, he'll make a great pass. But he hasn't had touches. It's not the fact he's not getting field goal attempts. He has to have touches of the basketball.
Well, that's how it sits at the end of the first half. Do not go anywhere. A very interesting second half coming right up. Cameroon leading it 32-29 at the moment.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they'd do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Strong rebound. Namas driving up the floor, and it's going to be a finish by Kuzminskis.
Hey, Douglas Kuzminskis.
24-9 already in this second period, and it's in the hands of Lomash. Matus throws it down.
Tough guard for Azam on the other end as Melly punches it home.
We're going to see him again here, flush it. Athletic finish from Caboclo. It's been the flavor of his game so far.
5-8 in the post, goes in. Oh my goodness! DeAndre Ayton, are you kidding me? And now Shardish looks up the floor. And there's Zubac for the dunk. And boy, Croatia.
Beautiful drop off by Hazonia.
Here's a lob. And that's how it started. So we thought from Slovenia it was going to be better, isn't it?
Now Spellman will go from the half court. Oh my goodness! Omari Spellman just reminds the crowd. Spellman from downtown. I know someone else who made that shot yesterday, but Spellman right at the end of the first quarter.
And Nunez goes down and throws it down right on top of Arabi.
And look at Tay Garcia.
He wants some more of that.
And now here come the Bahamas. Finds Edgecombe, goes in. Oh my goodness! This man is only 18 years old. And even Michael Thompson is up on his feet. Well, Baylor, you better get ready. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back to Riga for this action-packed Olympic qualifying tournament game between Montenegro and Cameroon. Cameroon leading it by 3 at the moment. We're taking a look at Brice Iago-Bidias' work for Cameroon, who's their leading scorer at the moment with 8 points. Has had a really nice few looks under the basket, Mark Clark, and we've liked the look of him and a few other players that have chipped in as well for Cameroon.
Oh, I like the look of the whole group because, and they will be disappointed in some ways because they could have had a bigger lead in that period where they had transition opportunities. They just didn't make good decisions and finish it, but they have made this the type of game it is, and if they can keep it a little bit broken, a little bit loose, a little bit where Montenegro are having to make plays with the ball, I think they're in a great place. And here he is. Bidias did a really nice job all round, and he's had a really nice, as you see his shot chart. Where is he effective? Around the ring, and he's done, you have to move there to get it, and he's done a really good job.
So the top scorer for Montenegro, Marko Simonovic, is carrying off where he left off last night. 14 points, 2 from 4 from the field, and he's hit all 7 of his free throws. Had a fantastic night against Brazil last night with the 15 points, and he's already up to 14, and it's half time.
Yeah, and this is what he's good at, you know, getting your feet set, knocking down the open look. Does a great job at moving off the ball, so therefore he becomes a really logical receiver. Nice pass to give him the ball there, and he's worked on the glass. He really has been the guy, and we normally talk about Vucevic, but he has been the guy that's done bits of everything to lead the team. And his numbers just reflect it, and it's the free throws. Nothing like being fouled and getting them from the free throw line.
Yeah, only 3 made field goals out of the 14 points, but the important thing is, you're right, he's getting to the free throw line. Free throws often win games. We saw Cameroon
he plays that, he gets it done.
Bidias, you can see he's shooting at a nice clip, 3 from 4 from 2-point range. He's got the 4 boards as well, so he's had a really nice start this game, and it's good to see the even spread of scorers for Cameroon. You know, it's him with the 8 points, but then you've got Bayehe closely following with the 5 points, 4 points for Tetros. Didn't he make a great impact coming off the bench? So they've got weapons all over the floor. They're just got to utilize them and make sure they're counting those shots, because we saw at the start of the game, both teams couldn't really get the rhythm, kept missing shots. They fell on that little patch towards the end of the second period. They've just got to keep being effective.
Yeah, and I think that's it. You know, I think both people are in the game now, both sets of group guys are in the game, so you would expect the rhythm to be better. Montenegro with only 16 and 13 points against quarters, where they shot very, very poorly. And part of that is Cameroon switching defense, but a lot of the time they're just taking bad options. It's just take the extra pass, find the guy that's open, take the shots that you practice that you used to taking. Because you say that to younger players, but even at this level, you know, it's an Olympic qualifier. The pressure does. You always want to do well. Like Perry had a bad night. He wants to get shots. He's gone looking for them and has just shot bad percentages because he's looked for shots as opposed to waiting for the good ones.
You mentioned pressure. It's win or go home for Montenegro, you know? They're really going to start feeling it. Let's listen to Coach Aboya.
We start with this first play right here. Jeremiah here with the ball. T, this is you. Screen, but not really a screen. You want Jeremiah to bring the ball here, all right? As he brings the ball there, you go right here. Jordan. Back. We reverse it to Jordan. As soon as we reverse it to Jordan, first up, Fabien cut. Might be open. We're not looking for that. And he stays there. All right? Now, T. Come in right back and set that pick for Jeremiah. Jordan. Actually, that's ball. Jordan will put you in the corner. Jordan in the corner.
So both coaches giving their final addresses. A really big second half coming up. We saw Montenegro start the game brilliantly yesterday against Brazil. Couldn't hold on in the end, but some of Brazil's old guys stepped up. We saw Marcelinho hit the game winner. And if you want to see a replay of it, it's all on the Courtside 1891 app. You can scan the QR code on your screen, get the highlights, the latest news, everything, not just from here, but for the other Olympic qualifying tournaments as well. Some great games in Greece and Spain and Puerto Rico overnight. It's been fantastic to see all around the world. 4 Olympic spots on the line, 4 Olympic qualifying tournaments being played. Doesn't get more high stakes than that.
No higher stake at all. Interestingly, Luka Bovac will start for Montenegro in this fourth quarter. We were literally talking about him in the half-time when we were off air for a few minutes, but because what we were expecting, I was expecting the youngster to have a big tournament, almost like a breakout tournament for him. Really hope he does. I think he's got so much talent. And there he gets his first touch.
So 32 plays 29, third quarter's tipped off. Oh, but Vucevic, an unlikely turnover, and Jeremiah Hill off and running for Cameroon. Atiba's like the look of these type of shots. Can't knock it down. A good rebound by Abua. He's been great on the boards all night, and he gets fouled.
Abua around the floor like a deer. He just went from foul line to foul line. Really just did a great job getting down the floor. And that makes the Atiba shot so much better because he's got board coverage. And he just outworked 3 Montenegrins. You outwork your opponent, good things happen.
Exactly the way they started the game. We saw Show get that crucial offensive rebound, and now they've started the second half the same way. Jeremiah Hill now, Bayehe. Oh, a good defense there. Good defensive effort, I should say, by Simonovic and Morgavits. The man you wanted to have an impact, there you go.
Super pass by Perry. Facilitate, you don't have to force anything.
Atiba, he's got the license to shoot this second half by the looks.
Well, I'd have backed him on both shots, wide open in rhythm, and that's 2 missed opportunities, but good shots.
Kendrick Perry now 1 from 7 from the field. Shot at 22% last night. Vucevic, here's a chance for him to get to work on Bayehe. Gets his own rebound and gets fouled.
It's just a different challenge for Nikola Vucic because he's not going up against a big. He's going up against more, lateral speed. and all they did then was play quick, and he forced it. He went after it, and he went after it hard. He gets the foul. Still a positive for Montenegro.
Perry sets his feet. Can he land this one? Yes!
There you go. Wait for one. You can get in rhythm. Super execution out of bounds. Gets his feet set. Has time, space, and a 5-0 start.
Perry up to 8 points for the game. Jeremiah Hill thinks about it, goes for it. Interesting shot selection.
Well, not the most active offensive set that anyone's run in this Olympic tournament so far.
Garbett into Vucevic. Oh, big effort there from Abua.
Called the interference.
Very interesting there. So a sub for Cameroon. Samir Bekom comes on the floor. It's not Vucevic's day so far.
Oh my word.
Great speed from Samir.
I don't know what Coach Radovic is going to, thinks about that. Everyone just stood there and they made one pass, get a layup. It's almost they didn't know the ball was in.
Radoncic now. Getting to work on a T-bar. And he heads to the line for two.
Well, we're going to say it again and again and again. Radoncic needs to take that responsibility and just contribute more. Because he's the one guy, because Simonovic is a better spot-up shooter. He has got the ability to put it on the floor, take some contact, go through plays on penetration. Much better than Simonovic. And it's also better for Montenegro that Marko Simonovic is spotted up. But you got to want to do it. You got to want to take that responsibility. That's a great sign for Montenegro early in this third quarter.
6 points and 4 rebounds for Dino Radoncic against Brazil last night. Plays for Bayern Munich in Germany.
It's the best front line Montenegro can put on the floor.
Oh, Simonovic, the easy putback.
That hurts, doesn't it? That hurts. If you're a Cameroon fan, you're not going to enjoy that.
And they've been doing so well in that area of the game. It's just a bit of a brain fade there. Let's see if they can capitalize on the offensive end, though. Cole's provided some nice energy since he's come on. Kendrick Perry. Team out to a 5-point lead. Vucevic finds Radoncic, who finds Simonovic, who goes to work. And offensive foul is called. The arm comes out again. We saw one a bit earlier on from Drobniak, I think it was. It's a bit of frustration coming in.
It's part of his game that he has to have. He has to be able to keep people honest. But you saw the long closeout that he went against, and if you'd have looked, he had people rolling and he had Vucevic open one way, had him one-on-one under the ring.
So Brice Bidias comes on, Cameroon's leading scorer at the moment. It's a good move by Coach Aboya. Montenegro started off this period really well with back-to-back buckets before Bekom just glided into the paint. Atiba now. Hill, this is good here from Montenegro. But Bayehe finds a way through and it just rattles out. Really unlucky.
Nice set. First time in this period that they actually moved the ball well and had a lot of action away from the ball.
Really patient set. Got through a couple of hands. And it's what Montenegro's trying to do on their offensive end. Bogavits. That shot won't count.
Gonna call the charge.
So Vucevic. It's his first foul of the game. See there, hands right in the back of Bekom. And again, Cameroon just getting those little wins.
Yep. but they need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. They've struggled 10-2 start. Haven't really had the opportunity to penetrate, to get things at the ring.
Iago Bidias just rattles out as well.
In fact, the only two they had was the one where Montenegro stood still and let them lay it up. Everything else, they've settled for jump shots. They haven't been the aggressor.
And it's a change from the first half where they really wanted to go inside in the paint, as Nikola Vucevic has done. And it prompts the timeout straight away because Montenegro have had the better start by far in this third period. And you can see Nikola Vucevic, that's what we like to see him doing, getting in, driving hard at the basket, banking it in.
Well, he's had a lot more touches already in this third period, so that's good for Montenegro.
Fabien here, open, or you finish right here. Dribble. No. Him. Hey, he's right here, the corner.
So it's been all Montenegro to start off this third period. 12-point to 2 start. Finished off by that bucket from Vucevic, prompting a timeout from Cameroon, but it's much improved from what they put up in the first half, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely, and Vucevic has had more touches. He's been more of a focal point. I think that's the most important part of that. Perry waited to get something in rhythm. He made a shot. If you look at the beginning of the period, though, Atiba's open threes, they were fine because they were in transition. Everything was still the same, and he just didn't make shots. Since then, they've been so static. They've got to get back to being aggressive, breaking down Montenegro on the dribble and sharing the ball.
Still looking a bit static out of this timeout. Let's see if it ends up in a basket for them. Becom seems to be the aggressor. But it was Vucevic's hands that were active on that occasion. Simonovic to Perry. Bogavec finds himself free. He thought about it. That shot fell short. Montenegro have another go now from the baseline. And this competitive defense for Cameroon, it's likely to tire them out, so they've really got to start hitting those shots.
Absolutely. And coach is looking for options. He's looking for units that are going to play. And he hasn't found one yet in this second half.
Perry for 3. Simonovic, Vucevic, and Perry all get a touch on the offensive rebound. Bogavec this time goes forward and nails it!
Why not the first time as well? He can do that so well. Loving the fact he stepped in, loving the fact coach has gone to him at the start of this third quarter. So the youngster were playing a little bit of faith.
Montenegro out to a game-high 10-point lead. Atiba can't do anything about it. Simonovic is calling for it.
They may need another quick timeout here because nothing has changed since the last one. And you're down double digits. You don't want to panic, but you've got to find that recipe you had in the first half.
Bogavec for back-to-back threes. Hit the deck along with Jeremiah Hill, who's still on the ground, holding that leg. Hope all is okay with Jeremiah Hill.
I think he's fine. I think there's nothing wrong with him staying down for a while here. They just break the tempo a little bit, break the rhythm.
And they put a sub into the game, and it's probably good to keep the bench nice and fresh and rotate them through. Niama gets his opportunity with Atiba getting to the bench. He's had a couple of good looks from three-point range. Fabian Atiba with the 6 points.
Doesn't take bad shots, Atiba. He just hasn't knocked down shots you'd expect him to make.
Hill. Bogavec was in the midst of it all. You're right, it has been a nice move. We knew what Popovic did at the start, but now it's Bogavec's turn to put the team on his back a bit.
Yep.
Jobniak on the floor now. He's a real aggressor as a guard too. See, they're turning up the tempo here, Montenegro. They want to put this game away as quickly as they can. Hill. Bayehe banks it in. That's what they needed.
They've had so much success out of the pick and roll with the bounce pass in particular. They get another one here. That's a tough finish. I mean, the foul's a hard foul because there's a lot of body contact. Stayed with the play, finished it. You need moments to try and spark you. Well, if he makes the free throw now, it's automatically back to 7, and they might feel as though they're in this third quarter. Just get them going. That's all they need. Just someone to push the old starter motor, and they're off and running again.
5 team fouls now for Montenegro, 3 for Radoncic. 4 minutes here for Cameroon to close the gap. Vucevic though, wants to interrupt that. Drobniak, Vucevic. Oh, beautiful pass, and Radoncic is happy to finish that one off. Bayehe lighting it up in this third period. He started off the game really well, and now he's working into it again with 11 points. And again, the call goes Cameroon's way. They're down by 6.
This is what I can't understand about Montenegro. You know, it's like the last few possessions, they've moved the ball. Vucevic has got touches, they've cut off that pass, and all of a sudden they're back on the dribble, trying to play too much on the dribble without actually breaking the defense down. Poor execution is all the foul was, but why change what's working? Stay with what's worked for you at the beginning of this second half.
Speaking of changes, they made some subs. Slavkovic and Popovic on the floor. That'll bring them some energy, no doubt. Hill into Bayehe, the main man of the moment, just flew past him. Igor Drobniak, Vucevic, Simonovic. Vucevic up against 2, just fell short. Not a foul they wanted to give away in the midst of all that. So Nyama was the offender on that occasion. And we're going to have a look at our first look at Vasilija Barčević is coming on for Montenegro. He didn't play at all against Brazil. And he's going to come in the last, at least at the 2-minute 44 mark of this third period, replacing Simonovic. 3 fouls for Simonovic, 16 points to his name.
Interesting to see if Montenegro do rest Vucevic, because when they rested him in the first half, things got a little bit, that was where the momentum started for Cameroon.
Oh, beautiful set of passes. Jobniak couldn't finish it off. And now Becom sees the basket ahead of him, pushes his defender out of the way. Vucevic, he won't be moved. So a 6-point margin between these two teams.
So Becom gets down the floor really well, but did he have a good shot? Did he have a shot that if you'd have said to him, do you want to take that shot? He should adjust. If he's outnumbered, didn't have an option or an angle to the basket, you've got to be good enough and disciplined enough to say, okay, we'll put it out.
Vucevic for a triple. Can't knock it down. Hill still stuck on those 2 points. Can he get involved now? Slavkovic ends up on the deck.
It's just not
the bonus.
It's just not what you need, is it? The ball was already secured. Slavkovic had it. Then you just got to leave him alone. There's no point fouling him when you're in the bonus. We're going to walk the floor. It's Montenegro. Yesterday shot 100% from the free throw line. A good free throw shooting team, full stop. You just don't need to give them anything easy. You've stopped the rot. You were down double digits. You've got it back to 6. You've got a little bit of momentum. Don't make it easy for your opponent.
And I won't want to give this guy touches as well. He's a really powerful 3-point shooter. when he gets involved.
It's an important 2 minutes here for Cameroon. They want to go into this end of this third quarter down single digits at worst. Do not want this lead to eke out to double digits again.
Nice crossover by Hill. He finds Beckham. Elects to drive in. Probably should have taken the open shot.
Yep. Or if he wanted to put it on the floor like he did, kick it again, because he had the whole of the Montenegrin defense had collapsed.
Vucevic provides a screen, and Hill cuts it off. He's got the speed, and he's got the bucket to go with it.
I love this phase of play here for Cameroon, because they're not as good as they were in the first half, but they're finding ways to, they were down 10, this is going to make it a 5-point game. They go into this fourth quarter down 4, down 6, whatever, they're in the game regardless. And that's all they need, the opportunity in the fourth quarter to get the win.
Ajmo iz 5 do kraja, iz 5 dobaci na Vučka, da se krećemo kad. I da ne izgubimo loptu, da zakucaj vama ako može. Ajde. 5, postavi 5 do kraja, dobaci Vučku da je veliki koš. Ajde. Ovci, nema odgovornosti prema ničemu, evo. Ajde, treba da imam 15 razlike bio. 3 lopti u ruke. Ajde! Oni će da rizikuju, da se pospiju s ovim pasovima. Budite pametni.
Bit of frustration that timeout from Coach Radovic. Walked off a bit early. They are winning the quarter, 18 points to 10, but Cameroon have got a little
He doesn't mind how, he shouldn't mind how he wins this. He just needs to win to get himself to a semi-final, or probably into a semi-final.
So a minute 18 left. 42 plays 47. This high stakes game, it's win or go home for Montenegro. Cameroon still have a game to play in this round robin stage. Vucevic.
Super job by Montenegro. Inside, outside, get the long closeouts, and Vucevic just found the seam and sealed it off, and he was just given the easy pass, easy two. Great job.
Again, Cameroon a bit stagnant on offense. Hill trying to provide something. Bayehe couldn't quite collect it. Popovic, it's in the right hands for Montenegro.
Bakovic did a great job rotating to not break that up.
So 30 seconds left. What can Popovic do? What can Vucevic do? Drobnjak now. Vucevic finds some space. Slavkovic, they kick it out to Popovic. And they just couldn't quite finish it all off.
Yeah, Vucevic just said to Bakovic, go up. I gave you the ball 4 feet from the bucket. Go and finish it or get fouled. And we worked out hard to get that around the ring. And Vucevic is going to get the break now around the court. He probably won't start the fourth. And you've got to hope for a Cameroon perspective, they really take advantage when he's not in the game. That's where they built that momentum in the first half.
Double-double confirmed for Vucevic. 10 points, 12 rebounds. 3 seconds now for Hill to go to work. Steps back, can't knock it down. But we've got a very intriguing finish to this game coming up. It's all set up for a thriller. Montenegro coming back in that third period, outscoring them 20 points to 10. And at the end of the third quarter, it's Montenegro 49, leading Cameroon 42. We're going to take a look at the game stats very shortly, and they're going to tell a very even picture, I sense, because as you can see, from the 2 points, 46 to 41. 3-point, look at that, 22-21. And free throws, mainly Simonovic's good work has kept them in a good percentage for Montenegro. But it's super even at the moment.
Well, the 15 trips to the free throw line is the difference between the scores more than anything else. And these best plays in the third quarter should just reflect it was a great start for Montenegro. And Bogovat's got off to a good start. Perry gets his open look. All of a sudden, they look like the top 20 team in the FIBA World Rankings against the team that's in the 68th position. But they just couldn't maintain it. They couldn't keep that going. Cameroon's defense does break them up a little bit. But the unfortunate thing for Cameroon is they just could not make enough open shots to maintain the lead. So they're in a bit of a 7-point hole. But if Vucevic doesn't start, they've got to use that period of the time to close that margin and make this a really tough fourth quarter.
But as you can see from there, they're reading where Vucevic is going. It hasn't been his best game. You can see Hill cutting off that pass. So it's not only him, but Simonovic providing a bit of a worry for them too. You can download the QR, you can download the app on your screen via the QR code. Courtside 1891 is the way to go for all your latest news and highlights from all the Olympic qualifying tournaments around the world, including right here in Riga, capital city of Latvia, where we're set up for a thrilling end to this game between Montenegro and Cameroon. Of course, coming up in the later game tonight, we've got Latvia going up against the Philippines. It was a sold-out arena last night. We're expecting the fans to pack it out again tonight. We're going to get a first look at the Philippines as well. We haven't seen them in the tournament yet. But right now, all eyes on Cameroon and Montenegro. It's win or go home for the Montenegrins. They lost against Brazil yesterday. It's Cameroon's first game of the tournament. Not sweating it yet, but gee, a win is important for them as well. Get themselves off to a good start.
Well, Perry accepted he had to foul because of the switch and the mismatch. And that's the level of people of Kendrick Perry's level. You know, they've got the 5 fouls, they'll use them. He won't do anything stupid and pick up cheap ones. So found himself in a bad situation, had to take one for the team.
So no Vucevic on the floor at the moment. It's Cameroon's time to go if they can capitalize. Hill, a nice pass to Iago Bidias. They kick it out. This looks good. Atiba finishes it off.
They so need him, because he's going to come up open. They so need him to knock down the open shot.
He's had a few really nice looks, Fabian Atiba. Up to the 9 points for the game now.
Showing a 1-2-2 zone, Cameroon. That's just not, from my opinion, not the call, especially with Vucevic not in the game.
Slavkovic just says, thank you very much.
There's no rotation at the back of that zone. You can overload that 1-2-2 quite easily if you just share it.
Mute Bidias can't get involved. Vacevic just stayed out there. Perry with the 8 points, 2 from 9 from the field.
Still going to show that zone.
Borgavits gets his own rebound. Great effort from the youngster. Perry looking for an option. The shot clock ticks down to 5. Borgavits thinks about it again, and he might have to just go for it. Bit standard on that occasion there for Montenegro. Iago Bidias, athletic finish. And one to come.
And there's the example of where Vucevic isn't in the game. He is not in the middle. He's not taking that space. Super pass, super penetration, great finish. Chance to make this a single possession game.
Well, just like that, Vucevic just comes straight back on. Coach Vadovic says, I'm not having any more of that.
Interesting to see if they stay in the 1-2-2 zone or in a zone, but in the 1-2-2 with Vucevic on the floor, because in some ways, it's a tougher ask to actually match up with him in that zone.
So Iago Bidias able to compete the three-point play, and the Cameroonian fans in the house are loving it. You can hear the chants going up around the arena, getting behind their team. 11 points for Iago Bidias.
Well, they've gone to the man.
Oh, Perry, errant pass to Borgavits. And the bench are getting up for Cameroon. Vucevic is back on, but they're still believing that this is their time to go.
And so they should, because they're in the game, and it was almost like they showed the zone and then went to the man just to confuse, and definitely confuse Perry, because that pass was closer to me and you.
I was ready.
You had your hands up. I saw your hands were up.
Hill now. Shot in the corner, full short from Iago Bidias, but there's a foul in the middle of all the rebounding.
Yeah, Slakovic had position on the box out, but Bidias was just active, so he just held him.
So Montenegro already up to 3 fouls, and so too is Slavkovic up to the 3. Bayahe. Hill. Bayahe finds himself open, drives it on Vucevic. It's a brave task, and Vucevic wins out.
That's a great description. That is a brave, that's a brave task, because that's exactly what it was.
Perry now against the suffocating defense. The Cameroon win out. This is much better. Oh, the alley-oop was nearly on for Mute Bidias.
We were almost up for that.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. Let's see if Montenegro can provide any highlights here. Perry.
Oh, they forced Perry into the tough situation. And just let him make or miss then. Don't foul him in that scenario. The defense is really, it's just breaking up what Montenegro want to do. It's disorganizing what they want to do now, whether it's show the zone, then pick up man-to-man, whether it's switch or the trap that you saw early in the possession before. It's just not allowing the game to become very structured. And then you have Perry with a tough shot, and if you can't foul him. If he makes it, great. But you can't foul him in that situation. He's got to earn the 2, not get them from the free throw line. Okay, it's a good foul.
Misses the first one. The Cameroon crowd celebrating as if they've just scored a 3-pointer.
I'm loving it. Loving those the Cameroonian contingent in the gym.
Yeah.
Making a lot of noise.
Oh, it doesn't affect him on the second one.
And we've seen Jeremiah Hill have the basketball every possession. Settle him down a little bit in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that's an uncharacteristic error, and Slavkovic is able to take it all the way to the rack.
Yeah, Iago Bidias just hung it out to dry as a pass.
He gets a redemption arc now. Again, collides with Vucevic. Mute Bidias, good active hands there. Bayahe, nice roll. That just falls out. Garbets.
Bidias needs a blow after that miss too. He just asked coach, just give me a few.
Garbets looking for Vucevic. Getting to work on Bayahe. Slavkovic has got a few buckets, but he turns it over there. Atiba. Oh, and he turns it back over to Slavkovic. Luckily, the whistle came.
Yeah, Perry fouled because he thought it was a bad, the numbers didn't add up. But they look like they really are they're running on a little empty at the moment, Cameroon.
So substitutes for both teams. I think Montenegro is feeling it a little bit too. Turnover at the other end. But the right man's come on, Dino Radoncic.
Yeah, absolutely right. The right man's come on. He's got to step in to take that responsibility, though. He will have those opportunities against long closeouts where he just has finished really well. Got to continue to do that.
Norris says an interesting sub for Cameroon. Haven't seen him in a while.
He's got some petrol in the tank still.
That's what they need. They need petrol, they need fuel.
Need some of that.
Energy. What can he do here with ball in hand? Williams Narase. One way, then the other, stepping back on Vucevic. It's a very nice move, just couldn't quite complete it. Atiba can't bake it in. So a few offensive rebounds in a row now for Cameroon. They need to capitalize here. It's a big opportunity for them. Iago Bidias just keeps it in. Oh, put it through a spin cycle and got fouled in the end.
Got to finish the play, though. They're creating opportunity. They've taken the ball at Vucevic, who's done a great job not to pick up fouls and just really dominate the middle of the keyway. You've just got to finish those plays. Got to get the scoreboard ticking over. It's only a 6-point game. They're right in it.
Biggest biggest lead of the game was only 10 points. It's been close throughout. It still is anyone's game. No team can give up or think they're out of it.
And while we're on the free throw, they got it. You know, Bogovac's just done a great job at making Hill work really hard the last few possessions. And that's going to be a real factor as this game develops.
That will be a factor too. We'll see Montenegro's got the 5 fouls. They're in the bonus, so plenty of opportunities for Cameroon from this range. They've got to capitalize. They've got to drive hard to the basket. They've got to make these.
Absolutely got to make free throws now.
Anticipation as Ayaga Bidias nails the second one. So it looks like Vucevic is going to have to go a bit higher and give it back to Bogovic. Not much movement here. Perry. Bogovic. Oh, beautiful shot.
Didn't second count himself there, did he? Got it, got square, just took the shot.
And a Tiber at the other end. Raining threes here in Riga.
Oh, the 33-year-old's loving this, isn't he? This is why he's playing the game still. Olympic qualifier, gets his feet set, knocks down another three.
Ayaga Bidias with the rejection, and Hill's off and running now. Ayaga Bidias. Oh, that would have been huge. That was a fun little passage of play for both teams to watch. Atiba setting his feet there. And he loves knocking them down from the corner. And then Bogovic at the other end. He was hesitant on his last few triple attempts. This time he was in no doubt. He's up to 8 points for the game. 5 triples for Montenegro, 7 for Cameroon. 57 plays 52. Perry loses it. Vucevic able to rescue things. Bogovic for back-to-back triples!
When you're young and you fear nothing, that's what you do. Just does what he's done since he's been a kid playing the game. Just gets his feet set, knocks down a three.
Hill swings it, but swings it too far. Hadjibegovic, the recipient of it in the bench.
And Luka Bogovac with his defense on Hill, which has really made him work hard, and the couple of threes has broken this game open now for Montenegro. Cameroon still have the 2 timeouts left. Do you think maybe take one now? But Montenegro are going to take it, surprisingly or interestingly, unless that's just to give Vucevic a blow. But they need just to, yeah, we can still do this type timeout. Give themselves a little bit of a minute, because Hill's obviously running on empty a little as well himself. Still there though, still there for this Cameroon team. Stopping the score, puts them right back in it.
Really interesting to see who Coach Aboya brings out on the opposite side of the timeout. There's a few players that are tiring, they're blowing, but the options from the bench haven't been amazing. They haven't got too many bench points, so there's got a bit to think about at the end of this timeout.
Well, he's got to go back to the guys in the past or in the tournament last year at the pre-Olympic qualification tournament that were able to come through then. And, you know, Beckham hasn't had a lot of shots, hasn't really got a lot of output out of him. Yeah, he had 19 points in the final last year, so he's someone who can come down and knock shots down at the end of a game. Atiba has been the one guy that has consistently taken good options at the offense end, just hasn't made enough. But it's still there. You know, it's still an opportunity, and Hill himself is way down on his normal output in terms of points and assists.
Speaking of knocking shots down, that is exactly what Luka Bogovic has been doing. 11 points, 3 big triples. He's turned this game around for Montenegro. Just when you thought Cameroon was going to come back into it, he's hit a couple of clutch shots, and he's got the ball in his hands once again. Double teamed immediately. Cameroon recognizing that he's the man at the moment. Although Vucevic, speaking of being the man, gets fouled.
Even though they telegraphed the trap, Vucevic still walked into it, but This is where Kendrick Perry has to show that he is the leader on the floor and demand it back before that trap is set.
Vucevic with the 10 points, 12 rebounds, make that 11 points now. Had a fantastic season with Chicago in the NBA, averaging a double-double there. Just under 20-point average in the World Cup as well, mind you. Uncharacteristic miss from the stripe.
That's because you said the...
I know. As soon as I pop him up. Hill has no such issues, reverses it in. So time not on Cameroon's side, 3.5 minutes left. Vucevic kicks it out. Radoncic confronted by a couple of Cameroon defenders. Bulgaric. The way he's been going, you thought it was going all in. Vucevic up against Atiba, uses a bit of speed, a good step from Nikola, but couldn't finish it off. And Jeremiah Hill, does he use his speed on the offensive end? He goes up against Bulgaric, kicks it out. That probably should have been there for Beckham to have. Narase though, he can finish it off for Cameroon. That is a big time shot from Williams Narase. It's game on. 61 plays 57, 2.5 minutes left in this game. Montenegro need to win, or they are as good as out of this tournament. Vucevic spinning, shooting, not scoring, but Radoncic, a crucial offensive rebound. Perry trying to spin, and the hands come in from Beckham.
It's only their third team foul though, so they didn't need to foul then. They don't need to gamble too much. There's plenty of time left in the game for him now after the stops and the scores. And he's got to take his time out now, otherwise he would potentially lose that. But it's there for him right now. It'd be great if he got one more stop right now. Then he's definitely going to be in a single possession game if he scores. But it doesn't matter. It's going to 2 minutes at worst. He's 7 down if Montenegro score out of this. And Hill's found a way to get to the basket. You said it during commentary. Why on earth did Beckham put it on the floor when he had a wide open shooter? But he found the right guy. And they're still taking the same shots. That's the most important thing for me for Cameroon. They're still taking the same shots. They haven't made enough to have any reason to still be in the game, except Montenegro have also missed a lot of shots. Now they're in the game, they're still taking the shots that they're trying to get, and that's so important when it comes down to the end of a game. Don't go and reinvent ways to try and score. So just a stop now will be so important for him. Be interested to see if he shows that little trap again. That'll be an interesting call. It's a brave call because you're only 4 down, but I think he's got to generate something at the defensive end. Otherwise, I don't think he can win this just going half court for half court and hoping he gets stops.
So same lineup coming out of the timeout for Cameroon, but crucially, Marko Simonovic back on for Montenegro. Haven't seen him in a while. He was in a bit of that foul trouble, but he's here. He wants to close out this game for Montenegro. He expected to be active in this offensive set.
Well, if they give Vucevic a touch, everybody else on the floor is a scorer. You know, if they space and spot up, everybody else is a good option from the perimeter for Montenegro.
Suffocating defense there from Narase. Perry took a tumble. Beckham with the hands in there.
That's interesting, though. It's an interesting call where they switch, and then the person who should have taken the roller just leaves the roller and traps the ball. Timing on it was good. They didn't have to foul. Like the call from Coach Aboya.
Simonovic to Perry. Under 2 minutes left in this game now. Perry shows it, then kicks it. Bulgaric. Radoncic. So many offensive rebounds that he's been involved in.
They've got to get the rebound if this goes short again.
And again, Radoncic, he's the man. He's there again. too many chances if you're a Cameroon fan for Montenegro, but Montenegrin fans will be loving this hustle and effort. Simonovic can't bury it.
Somehow, they've got to stop.
Jeremiah Hill has to go now. A minute and a half left to salvage something. Atiba, Bayahe. Back to Fabien Atiba. Rasa gets it in a good spot. He's fouled. So 2 to come. And we spoke about this free throw percentage that Cameroon's been struggling with at the moment. Got to go now. 4th foul there for Simonovic.
They've only shot 10 on the game, and they can't miss them now.
No.
Makes them 7 from 11. Those 4 missed free throws is you know, it's a factor. One will do, gets it to a 1-possession game, puts them right, they're in it anyway.
Oh, but missing both is such a coach killer, isn't it? Not what Coach Aboya would have wanted out of that. If you're a Montenegrin fan, you're smiling. You've got a minute left. You can ice the game here. Simonovic out there, a few players waiting on the 3-point line. Perry goes inboard and gets a chance to complete a 3-point play. That is a massive clutch basket from Kendrick Perry. Beautiful drive from Perry. Banks it home under pressure. It hasn't been his night. He's up to 11 points now, 3 from 11, but that's the player he is. He doesn't have to have a massive night, but he can have big moments, and just like he can do here, can potentially ice the game for Montenegro.
Got a great angle. Just in the first half, they took him a bit wider, got a great angle, finished it really well. 3-point play makes this really tough for Cameroon if he makes it.
And there it is. So Bogarbits will come off and Popovic will come on. 64 plays 57, 51 seconds left. That's the occasion for Cameroon. Atiba, it's in the right hands to get a triple. He gets fouled on the 3. Now this is interesting.
Well, if you'd have asked me, would anyone from Montenegro come up with a bad decision of foul, it would not be Vucevic to foul the 3-point shot. Clock stops. If he makes all 3, yeah, it's still a 4-point game, but you're right, it's game on again.
Big moment coming up for Fabien Atiba. We saw Naras said just moments ago, missed both free throws. 3 opportunities here for the captain to get them back within 4. Every Cameroon fan in the arena, and I'm sure you all at home, are riding on these free throws. 42 seconds left in the game. Second one goes down for him. Oh, misses it on purpose, gets his own rebound, can't get the putback. Montenegrin ball. Wow. It nearly came off for him. Simonovic gets it back to Bulgaric. Kick ahead to Radoncic for the slam! And the dagger! Big time basket from Dino Radoncic. Hill was able to bank it in on the way back. And again, they kick it ahead. Simonovic has a board to deal with. And it was a foul called. And Simonovic finds himself at the free throw line once again. Abua did his best on that occasion. But a beautiful finish here from Dino Radoncic. Five-point margin at the moment. Simonovic extends it out. So it'll be, if it stays this way, 1 win, 1 loss to Montenegro. So bit of a wait and see now to see if they can claim that semi-final spot. And there'll be a timeout for Cameroon. One last effort for them, perhaps. They put in a really good stint, but just certain things just haven't gone their way. It's been the story of the game, really.
But while there's time, there's still hope, so that they'll advance the basketball. If they get a quick 3 or a quick 2, they've got to get a quick one. You know, if they steal or foul, we could be up and down the floor a couple more times. But while there is time, there's always that hope. And we've seen before, it's even make the 3 out of bounds, out of the quick release. So they have things in the locker to get a shot. It is what they do straight after that. As long as they don't intentionally foul, they're in a good place.
Fans loving what they're seeing from their Cameroon team, no doubt. They've made some noise in the arena throughout the night. The emotion of the Montenegrin fans as well throughout this Olympic qualifying tournament game. And no doubt we're going to see this arena continue to fill up throughout the night as Latvia take on Philippines later on. I reckon there'll be a few Philippines fans in the house. There seem to be them all over the world. They get behind their team so well. All eyes on Cameroon now. What can they salvage here in this last 20 seconds? Jeremiah Hill goes underneath the defense and he collects himself another bucket. So a timeout for Montenegro.
Then that means they're relying on the veteran.
The other veteran, Marcelinho. Big game coming up for them. Cameroon and Brazil.
And the other dimension to this is if you're Cameroon thinking, if we beat Brazil, you don't want to foul and give them to make the points difference too big. Because it depends on how you're looking at the next game. Do you think you've got a chance of winning this? Probably not. You take the 5-point loss and give yourself a chance in that next game. Okay, you're playing Brazil, but you don't want to be losing by 8 or 9. What would you think if you beat Brazil by 2 and went out on points difference? You know, it's
devastating. So Nikola Vucevic takes his seat.
Another double-double.
11 points, 14 rebounds. Second straight double-double in the tournament. Is it enough to keep them in?
You got to say he's done everything he possibly could.
Yep.
In the second half, he got touches, and they were a better team for the touches he got.
10 seconds left. Bogavits has put in a good stint with those 13 points. Hill's been good late. He's trying to inject as much energy as he could, but yeah. Oh, he's nailed it a bit too late. A nice finish to the game for Cameroon. Just going to make absolutely sure it's the end of the game. Makes it a 4-point margin from that 3-pointer.
And they're just going to check when the ball went through the hoop. Let's have a listen.
We are going to review if the time expired after the basket, the ball crossed the net. Stop the video. Go back a little bit. Go front. So we have already 0.2 on the game clock. We need to reset the game clock. 0.2, right? Basket is valid. Let's go. So we have 0.2 on the game clock, and then it's green ball here.
No, it's white ball.
I don't think he's quite got that, but that's okay.
I think everyone knew
Players know what's up.
Everyone knew what he meant.
So Montenegro are going to celebrate their first win of the Olympic qualifying tournament here in Riga. It's become a crucial win. They now have to wait and see if that's enough to get them into the semi-finals here in Riga. The final score from Arena Riga is Montenegro 70, getting the win over Cameroon 66. It was a hard-fought battle for Montenegro. It was never going to be easy for them. We've spoken about the discrepancy between the world rankings, but as you can see, a 4-point game in the end. Cameroon put in a good stint, but Montenegro's class and experience and their want to win just shone through in the end.
Oh, absolutely, but this is one of those moments where if you're Cameroon, you go, oh, we should be pleased that we came so close, but you won't be happy now at all. You can enjoy the fact you were close later on. You're going to be very disappointed now. That period, the 12-2 start to the third period just killed them ultimately. But lot to be pleased about if you're Cameroon in that performance. Defensively, you really did mix it up, and you gave Montenegro a lot of questions to answer. And coach will take a lot of those positives away. He will also be very disappointed. But that's a very, very good performance. And also, you've got to say, a really good adjustment at the half by Montenegro. They really did struggle in that first half, only scoring under 30 points to really get anything to go right. But they found a way to make some adjustments. Vucevic got more touches, and Perry made some really smart decisions as the game developed. And let's not forget what a performance by Bogavats when he broke the game open with the back-to-back threes. We were asking him to be confident, and he really, really became a factor in the game. And some of the best plays that we're going to see in that fourth quarter are going to show how well Montenegro did when they moved the ball. You wouldn't want to face Montenegro in the semi-final if they are successful going through, because they have a way to hurt you. And if they can make you, hurt you more than you hurt them, they are going to be a factor in whoever they play in the semi-final. So we'll get examples of that in these fourth quarter best plays.
And we saw Cameroon, to their credit, they outscored Montenegro in that term, 24 points to 21. They put it all on the line, but their efforts came just a bit too late, unfortunately for them.
You know, half-time came at exactly the wrong time for them, because at the start, that 12-2 run they couldn't score. Atiba had some really good looks, just didn't knock them down. And if he'd have made just one or two of those, we'd have had a different basketball game. But the 68th team showed they're not the 68th team. They're a much better team than that. And the job that Coach Aboya is doing is beginning to make the progress that Cameroon have threatened to make for a while now. So it's good to see they got close, but they'll be desperately disappointed that they didn't get the win. I mean, there's the examples of Bogovat's one of his threes. And it's just, key players almost didn't come up with the goods though. Hill didn't get the numbers he would expect to get. Had a good game, but needs to score more. I just love the way they mixed their defense up though. The mix up on the defense really did unsettle Montenegro. And it will do the same to Brazil. So this isn't done yet by any means for the Cameroon.
Absolutely, no Neto, as you mentioned, for Brazil. We know Iago is probably carrying a bit of something, we sense, because he did sit out the whole last period in the last game. So we'll see how that pans out. But as you can see, the standings in Group B, Montenegro at the top at the moment, beating Cameroon today by the 4 points. Brazil sitting in second spot at the moment, of course, getting the win over Montenegro the previous day. Of course, the next game coming up, Latvia and Philippines in Group A. But that wraps things up here for now in Riga. For the third game of the Olympic qualifying tournament, it was Montenegro claiming victory over Cameroon by 4 points.